reporter here, Callie Rasted with
Mona Davis.
Molly Stoddard.
And we were just here wondering about you guys' all-terrain wheelchair that you guys have been using out here, and we wanted to know who came up with the idea and everything.
I think it was a joint idea. We had quite a few students who had been in walking boots and had been on crutches and just weren't able to get around out here at the prairie. And so we were trying to come up with some ideas of how we can get them out on the prairie instead of having to keep them in the classroom, because that's what we do out here.
Nice. So I was wondering also if the kids have to sign up for it.
Well, when a student has some sort of injury that occurs, then the teachers learn about that, and we just talk about it and figure out how it's going to work out.
So where have you guys seen the wheelchair used before? In what kind of areas?
In the wintertime, we've had a sled out here that has been used for students who needed it. And we've used a wagon a few times, but that just gets to be kind of cumbersome. So just a little bit of brainstorming and research and came up with the wheelchair idea.
That's very cool. So thank you for your time and telling us all about the grant and the wheelchair.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming out.
Senior reporter Wyatt Melvestead here with
Lynette Rehnquist.
And we're here to ask you about these new noise-canceling headphones that were given to you by a foundation grant. So what purpose do these serve, really?
Well, my students wear them when they're reading AR or when they're taking a test to fully concentrate on the material that they're using and not be disrupted by any other sounds or noises.
Excellent. And what do the kids think of these so far?
They really love them. They all have their own little pocket to put them in, and they're all numbered, and they really enjoy wearing them.
Well, sounds extremely helpful. So are these required for all kids, or is this more of an optional thing?
Well, it's really more of an optional thing, but actually my students love to wear them and come over every day and pretty much wear them on a daily basis.
Well, thank you for letting us ask you some questions and giving your time to us.
And thank you to the foundation for paying for these. We really appreciate it. It was a great grant opportunity, so thank you again.
The 544 Foundation has been gracious enough to purchase some mini air compressors and air brushes. And what the welding students and STEM students use those for is they find an image that they want on Google on the Google Images. They cut out the image on the CNC plasma cutter. They take that piece of metal now and they grind all the mill scale off and make it bare. We'll take that shiny piece of metal and spray it with what's called a patina, which is like a water-based acid. And that'll color it to, we've got about 12 different types of shades we can use to color the background. Then they'll take that piece and start airbrushing. And they'll airbrush their colors on the way they want their image to look. Once the airbrush paint is dry, then we'll clear coat it with the same clear coat you would use on a car. And that'll bring out a nice shiny finish to their product that they're trying to cut out.
The grant that we had written and asked for was so that we could have tires for 3 competition cars for the high mileage competition. We had received the grant, and then we had went to the Central Lake Cycle to buy the tires and tubes for the high mileage car.
The senior STEM group is currently competing in 2 classes, the E85 class and the stock class. 1 group is in the E85 and 2 are in the stock. The competition will take place on May 13th, 14th, and 15th at Brainerd Raceway.
What made you want to get the grant money?
Well, I guess I just saw all the capabilities that an iPad Pro has these days with an Apple Pencil and some colleagues that have one. And it just made me really curious as to how we could use it in my classroom and especially in video productions.
What have you used it for so far in your classroom?
So far, our biggest use has been in video productions. We use a drawing app called Procreate, and everyone's drawing their own title slides now for their videos, which has been really fun, and taking photos and kind of mashing them together with different text and graphics. And there's a couple other apps in there that we've been using in video productions as well.
And then who can use it in your classroom? Like which students?
Any student in my classroom can use the iPad, for any purpose really. It has the Apple Pencil that people can use, and it has the keyboard, so it can even be used as another computer device in the room. So any student can use it. So far, mostly video production students have been using it, but we're just kind of scratching the surface so far of its capabilities.
And then when did you decide that you needed it or wanted it?
I decided that I wanted one after I saw Jesse Thorsted's iPad Pro, and I used it this summer at the Google Summit, and we were doing sketchnoting, which is taking notes by drawing, and it was just so cool, and I thought, okay, how can we do this in my classroom? So then I started trying to think of a way to get one, and then the foundation came to mind as one option.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
What do you like using the iPad for?
Well, we can make some pretty fun title slides with it, and my group likes to make the credit slides too. And it just has like a fun twist and something that's different than what Final Cut Pro gives us. So yeah, it's nice.
What made you want to get the grant money?
I needed something to help me. I have a lot of kids that have anxiety. And I had heard about a weighted blanket before, trying to help people with restless legs or people who have a lot of anxiety. And this is, the weighted blanket kind of settles them down and calms their nerves. So I thought with all the kids that we have with anxiety here, it would be a great thing to have to help kids.
So tell me about this weighted blanket.
This is a weighted blanket I got with the grant money, and it weighs 15 pounds. It's very heavy. When people are anxious or kids are anxious, your body kind of tightens up and they shake. A lot of times they'll either lay with it or they'll wrap it around their shoulders, and it makes your shoulders relax and calm down. And the weight makes you feel calm, makes you feel better, and you can get through the day.
And then when did you decide that you wanted this?
I talked about it last year, and I didn't know that I could ask for a grant. So I didn't do anything about it. I talked with the counselors about it, and they were like, oh my God, what a great idea because of the anxiety we have here. So when this came up again, they sent out that email. I said, I wonder if I could ask for it. So I did. And I got it, and I was super excited. I'm really excited about this. They come in, I probably use this 2-3 times a day. So I think it's been a great investment, and I thank the District 544 for doing this, letting me have it.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.